Jacob, good to see you. Good job last week. Got those 2 picks, right? Did
Yes,
you pick
sir.
all 2? Took one back for a touchdown.
Yes, sir.
Was it an easy road back to the end zone?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wide open? Just had to outrun everybody else?
Yes, sir.
Felt good to get there, right?
Yes, sir.
What was the celebration like? I mean, here's what I always wondered. What would I do if I was in these NFL games or college game, score a touchdown? Do I just throw the ball on the ground? Do I take it to the referee and hand it to him? Or what'd you do?
Well, I kind of got caught in the moment. Everybody ran at me, and it was a great feeling.
It has to be, just to have that kind of success. Was that your first touchdown?
First pick 6. I scored my sophomore year.
How'd you score back then?
It was just a wide open busted play on the defense, and I was wide open in the end zone at receiver.
At receiver, gotcha. Are you playing both ways this year?
Yes, sir.
So you'll line up at a wide out tomorrow as well?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
More like the slot.
Kind of in the slot receiver? You love this Eastern Guilford Wildcat team this year, the way you guys are playing?
Yeah, we finally grew up. We got a lot of seniors this year, so we should be pretty stout. But our defense is basically seniors, so.
How about this kid, Kyrie Lundy? Is he having as good a year this year as he did last year?
Well, yeah, he's doing pretty. He's real quiet right now, but he's getting there slowly. He's still getting his tackles every game, doing what he normally does.
He's consistent in playing the linebacker spot, Lundy?
Yes, sir.
Because remember that game against Southern Guilford last year when you guys played him at your place at home, the first game of the year. He just went crazy that game.
Yeah.
Put his name on the map.
Yes, sir.
Do you play any baseball too?
Yes, sir.
I thought so. Man, that baseball team, Eastern Guilford, got real good the past couple of years too. But I don't think here, we're just being honest, we're putting it on the table. I don't think you guys were quite as good last year as you were the year before.
Yeah, we lost a lot of pitching, so it kind of moved us down a little bit.
The Robinson brothers, I mean, they're all talented, and we know how this baseball thing works. The second or third time through, it's tougher for you to beat that team. The first year, man, they were there. They shocked a lot of people. And you guys went deep in the playoffs. You guys went down. They went Orange. You guys went to Orange that Thursday night. Lost that game. A close game. You guys were battling. But then the second year you come around, not quite as successful. But again, you still got to like having those Robinson brothers around, though.
Yes, sir, yeah. We have 2 now.
Got Luke and also still Andrew.
Yeah.
Luke the catcher?
Yes, sir.
He's committed to North Carolina.
And Andrew committed to Western Carolina.
And Caleb's already at Western Carolina. Good group of players. We were talking with Jarius Moorhead about the Moorhead brothers. You got the Holt brothers out of Eastern Guilford, Terrence and Tori. Then you had the Yeomans brothers, Scott Yeomans, Murray Yeomans, and you had the Marshall brothers. He might have been a brother, might have been a cousin. You had Elijah Marshall, and there was a Greg Marshall back in the day. So just all kinds of family talent through Eastern Guilford over the years. And the Robinson brothers, no exception.
Yes, sir.
Those Robinson brothers take me back maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years. Didn't they play a little football when they first came there?
Yes, sir. Caleb played, I think, defensive end for a little bit. And then his brothers played JV, little corner, safety.
You'd think those guys could have played a little more football. All they had to do was unfasten their chin strap and show they had beards when they were like in 9th grade. These guys were around with beards already. They could scare somebody probably. Yeah, a lot of good talent though, a lot of good work. What's been the key to your success this year? Having that touchdown, that's highly successful. What's been the key to your success this year?
Just playing the ball more this year. Try to read the coverage like we're already in, and just stay in my coverage and wait for the ball to come out there.
Who's your defensive backs coach?
Coach Morris.
Coach Morris. How about Coach Kennedy Tinsley? He's still there?
Yes, sir. He's our special teams coach.
He's working
and
special teams?
the running backs.
And the running backs. And Coach Robertson, what area does he work with?
He's the defensive coordinator and the head coach. So.
And does he do any special areas too? Work with a line or?
Yeah, defensive line.
He pumps those defensive line guys up. Who's the unsung hero on this team? Is it like a lineman or somebody on this team that doesn't get much credit?
Daryl Ashley. He's a defensive lineman. He works hard on offense and defensive line. Plays both ways the whole game.
Got to give that guy props, Daryl Ashley. How big is Daryl?
I want to say about 6 foot, maybe 220.
Pretty solidly built in.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Jacob Finerty with us. What do you think you'll be doing after high school's over? What's the plan of attack?
It just depends. I'm waiting to see who talks to me this year. Maybe play baseball or football in college.
So you got 2 possibilities in.
Yes, sir.
Let me get it. You never know. Maybe Guilford College. I always mention Guilford when these guys come in because you had Tyler Hunt with there, and Tyler played a little. Man, Tyler was playing a little baseball for Guilford his first year, and then played a lot of football.
I heard he's doing good at Guilford.
Man, he's doing real good at football. He's pumping the ball extremely well, kicking the ball like it's going out of business, and he's having success there. Yeah. Does he ever come back to see you guys?
I think he's been to 1 game.
Now his dad was always keeping up with the program, Mr. Hunt. I know he was always around things, keeping up with it close. So Jacob Finerty with us and getting ready for the big. What do you see about this Moorhead team? What do you expect from these guys?
I see a lot of speed. They're a real little team, but they like to get to the outside, and we just got to keep them inside.
Darius told me they look like they'd improved a lot from last year.
Yes, sir. Their quarterback, he's been starting since, I think, his freshman year, and he's got a twin brother who's pretty good.
Both in the backfield?
Both in the backfield.
Do you know what numbers those guys are?
I think the quarterback's 7, and then the running back maybe 1 or 2.
Got to be thinking about those things going in. I got to focus on Is that the key, you think, just like Jerry said, is the focus of the team important this year?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Get locked in before the game.
Yeah. What do you do to get pumped up before the game?
Just listen to music, and we mostly stay in our lockers and try to go over what we're going to do in the game, our coverages, plays, stuff like that.
What do you think Coach Roberts has done the best job of as far as getting you guys' attention? What's he done to kind of get in you guys' head and get you guys thinking football, thinking focus, thinking being ready?
Before the games, we have like small meetings where we get to talk to our coaches and go over our last-minute things before
those group sessions to review?
Yes, sir.
Sounds like there's pretty good unity down there right now.
Yes, sir.
4-1 record to start the year, could well be 5-1 with a big win tomorrow. Is the homecoming activity, does that throw you off the map any? Are you involved in that? Or?
Yeah, it's not really throwing us off. I think it's boosted us more than it's hurt us right now.
How's it boosted you? Kind of give me an idea.
The fans are getting interactive with us and giving us a chance to see the spirit at Eastern Guilford.
The one thing I remember about those Eastern Guilford basketball games back when I used to come to those were the Wildcat Crazies.
Yeah.
They still exist?
Yeah, we still got a group of students that like to come out to the games.
Some pretty good stuff back in those days. Because I remember a couple of times the principal had to go over and kind of quiet those guys down a little bit, kind of keep them under the wraps. But boy, always big at Eastern Guilford. Let's get a few questions in for Jacob now. We talked about the key to the success this year. What do you think is maybe one word or maybe a couple words that would describe the success you guys is having this year? Is it like been great, good, fulfilling, above average, unreal? How do you kind of throw it down?
I would say good, because we're good, but we're not where we want to be yet, so we can always get better.
So one word to describe it would be good, maybe 2 words, still improving.
Yes, sir.
You guys are still working to get there. Beat all the teams except for Southern Guilford. What didn't work in that game, according to your opinion?
Well, Reggie Gillespie, he's had a good game, and we didn't have an answer for him that night.
Yeah, it's crazy, because you guys, I go back, I hate to reflect, but I always go back and put this brain on rewind. I was at that game when you guys beat them 2 years ago, and that first quarter, he must have had about 150 yards. Look, he's going to get 600. But man, somehow you guys put the wraps on him most of the rest of the game, and then your defense took over.
Yeah, yes, sir. We started blitzing more that game.
Do you look forward to maybe seeing them again in the playoffs?
Yes, sir.
It'd be kind of weird because you both may have to go, gosh, Northern's been going west a lot lately, and Southern's been going west more lately. You guys usually go east, but maybe you guys might go west, and who knows, maybe both those guys might go east. You just never how that thing shapes up.
Yes, sir.
But you guys will be a three double A team, you think?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, gotcha. Jacob again with us here. Shane's Rib Check for a Thursday. Top 4 teams in the conference, probably Eastern Guilford, Northern Guilford, Western Alamance, and Eastern Alamance. Pretty much agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Who do you think would be the toughest among the other 3 other than you guys? Northern Guilford, Eastern Alamance, or Western? Because you got to still face all 3 of those.
Yes, sir.
The schedule's kind of been building for you guys. Getting a little tougher every week. You still got to face Northern, Eastern Alamance, Western. Who do you think among those 3 is the toughest?
I would probably say Northern, just because they have the athletes on the edge that give a lot of teams problems.
Guys like Luke Reynolds and the quarterback. Looking at Cam Harris and even C.J. Freeman, those guys, and a Tucker Horde guy. You ever see him? I think he's number 7. He plays extremely well. He's helped them a lot lately. Pretty tough receiver. Other than Southern Guilford, the best team that you've faced so far this year, you think?
I'd probably say Northeast.
Northeast still?
Just because that's a big rivalry game.
Huge rival. It's a huge rival. The fact of the matter is, you guys, in some ways, have not made it all that interesting the past 2 years because you've beaten them pretty bad.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you've dominated. I remember I came to a game. I always bring back my memory bank stuff. Came to a game one year. Used to doing a Friday night game, broadcasting game. We got rained out that Friday, so I drove down to Eastern Guilford. You guys were playing Northeast. Kind of a wet Friday, but you guys still played back when you were probably a lot younger then. But I drove over the edge of that hill at the top of my car, just looking down kind of on the top of a canyon watching that game. And that night, Eastern Guilford beat Northeast, I think, for maybe the first time. And Coach Looseman was still there. First time in years. That place just went crazy that night. Huge rival. Who just is a bigger rival for Eastern Guilford? Would it be Northeast or would it be Northern?
I'd probably say Northeast just because it goes back so far.
History.
Yeah.
Because they used to be all together at Northeast many, many years ago. All right, other questions for Jacob here. What's the one school in Guilford County we could give you a stack of $100 bills you still would never play for that team?
Probably Northern.
Northern? Yeah. Okay, take a Northern there. In a rematch with Southern Guilford, would it be a better thing to have it at your place instead of theirs? Rather have that at home?
Yes, sir.
And what do you got to do to stop Reggie now? You've seen him once already, and Jerry has talked about you guys at face. What do you got to do to stop Reggie?
I would say we just put Kyrie Lundy on him, maybe follow him around a little bit more.
Man, that's good coaching strategy. I love that coaching strategy. Pick out one of your tougher players everywhere he goes, he doesn't touch the ball, you still tackle him.
Yes, sir.
Because they can't call a penalty for tackling a guy without the ball, I don't think, because you're just hitting the guy. Yeah. And you could also say, I've had some vision problems, I just tackle. Coaches, you still leave it, tackle anything that moves. Yeah. That's a great idea. I'd say tackle him every time. You can also loosen him up like that, because he's going to have the ball most of the time anyway.
Yes,
and you can't go wrong. You go for number 25 every time.
Yes, sir.
What number's Lundy?
He's 32 this year.
32 this year?
Because he's playing some fullback, so.
A little offense too. Put Lundy on Gillespie. I like that idea. I'd love to be the guy to be on him. That'd be fun just for the challenge of it. You may not win the challenge, but man, to go up against a top-notch player. That's why I like to go against Jarius. Yeah. Jarius is a pretty big guy. He's quarterback. I'd love to be on defense coming after him because he's a talented guy. If you stop him, feel like you did something.
Yes,
good stuff with Jacob here. A few other questions for him. Bringing it on down the line. Toughest player you've ever went up against? Toughest player, toughest team? Talking about your team this year, your varsity years, maybe your JV years, middle school, even go back to rec. Toughest man or team you ever faced?
I'd probably have to say sophomore year at Northern when they had TJ Logan.
Oh, man, good days there then.
Yeah.
You were a younger guy too then.
Yeah.
How much did you weigh maybe back then?
130.
Ooh, going against TJ.
Playing safety.
Yeah, and the fun part was if you caught him, then you got to try to bring him down as fast as he was. Then you got to try to bring him to the ground and finish him off. Did you get a few tackles on him?
I think I got a shoestring tackle maybe. I got his ankle and he fell.
That's a good thing,
that's
yeah.
About it.
He tripped over the 35-yard line.
Yeah.
Close enough. That's what it takes. That's what it takes right there. Homecoming activities, so that's not a problem for you. Get through all that. Stay focused. First ever coach.
First ever coach?
Remember him?
I'm not sure.
How about best coach ever?
How about Coach Rob?
Stick with him on that, Coach Roberts. Gotcha. Best teacher at Eastern Guilford. Best teacher ever.
I'd say like Jerry's Mr. Novers.
And he teaches again Microsoft?
Microsoft Word.
What are you doing at Microsoft Word? That sounds almost like I'm going to my computer and selecting Microsoft and go to Microsoft Office, Microsoft Word. I'm typing word processing. Is that some of it?
Basically. You just learn how to type.
Man, you're a smart kid because you just took the words right out of my mouth. You're quicker than I am, because that's what I'm thinking too. It's basically a typing class on the computer.
Yes, sir.
Outstanding. And it's probably a lot more fun than the old typewriters. It would have been too. They throw those things out. Those things are gone. But that's kind of a smart idea. Microsoft
Word. And Publisher.
Yeah, and you guys, can you type it up and then print it too?
Yeah, we can do that, but it's mainly just something to help your grammar out.
Yeah.
And you just type it and look at the screen.
Does he come by and check your work? I guess check your grammar. Do you got like a proofreader at the top of the?
Yes, sir.
That's good stuff. You guys doing the same thing I'm doing now. I'm like 100 years older than you guys. You guys are even with us at our website. That's good stuff. Let's look at toughest class ever.
I probably have to go with honors English last year.
And got through that okay?
Yeah.
Picked up an A, B, or maybe?
B.
Good stuff. Who taught that class, remember?
Taught that class. Not sure. Oh, yeah, Miss Ryder, I think. Miss Ryder.
Who's your toughest teacher this year?
I don't really have any hard classes.
What's your
Miss Russian? That's my math teacher.
Math's pretty tough this year? Yeah. What level math, what kind of math class is this?
Honors discrete.
So you're going to college. You're going to be in serious, man, in college. Are we going to go to college yet? Did you say? Any idea?
It just depends.
Just comes down to the baseball, football thing.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Jacob Finerty with us, and looking toward the future, would you take Steve Smith or Kelvin Benjamin if you had a chance?
I would have to say Kelvin Benjamin.
I'm thinking about Benjamin, too, for the future. Steve is outstanding. He would help me all year this year, maybe next year, but if I am looking at, boy, I still would like the guy told me, somebody said this to me today, I'd love to have them both, because you could have kept Steve Smith. You knew you were going to get Benjamin in the draft anyway, that position. He would come in the same spot. God, would have been a great combination. And let Smith bring Benjamin along. I don't know why they didn't do that. I think there's a lot of pride involved. I'm going to hurry up because I don't want to keep you on that long, but I think what they wanted to do, and I read a part about this, that they wanted to change the culture of the locker room. They felt like Steve Smith controlled the locker room. They wanted to get him out of the locker room and let Cam Newton take over the team. Yeah. I think they want to make that Cam's team. They felt like it never would be Cam's team as long as Steve Smith was there. Maybe we answered something to help the Panthers. I'm not sure about that. I wish we could. Least likely to be the man of the month. This guy least likely to be the man of the month. Would it be Ray Rice, Greg Hardy, Adrian Peterson, or Steve Smith?
This guy say Adrian Peterson.
Peterson, I think so, because, man, they've got stuff really. We talked a bunch about this last week. This has kind of been quiet this week. Not been in the news as much. I don't know how that stuff works, because not a lot of talk about that this week as it was the previous weeks. Big games this week. You take Minnesota or Green Bay tonight?
Minnesota.
Okay, Minnesota and Teddy Bridgewater. How about NC State, Clemson on Saturday?
I'm going to stick with Jerry's NC State.
Yeah, good idea. Stick with the Wildcat, Mr. Moorhead. How about Tech at Carolina, Virginia Tech at Carolina?
Virginia Tech.
You know what? They've been down too lately. You hate to get a team that's been down when you're already down. Carolina's down, getting up, 120 points past 2 games. 70 the first game against East Carolina, second game 50 against last week when they played Clemson. Now you got to face the Virginia Tech team, which is expected to do better. They've been losing. It's going to be tough.
Yes, sir.
Carolina loses again, man. There's going to be some heat coming out of Chapel Hill. I know there's got to be. Okay, here's your big selection. Do you choose the quick energy from the Kit Kat bar, the Snickers, Mr. Good bar, M&M's, or an apple? Which energy do you take?
The apple.
Apple seems to be the choice. Late night snack, any idea? Do you eat one or you just got a late night?
I like Cool Ranch Doritos.
That's good.
Yeah.
This man knows what he's talking about. I mean, that's the best Dorito there is, and you don't find it on the shelf enough in these fast food restaurants. The Subway, they don't put out enough Cool Ranch Doritos. They're going to give you some of the regular Doritos and the Sun Chips.
Yes.
They got to give us those Cool Ranch Doritos. Back when I was younger, I used to love to get a bag of Cheetos. I could eat those just like for a snack, like you're talking about here. Today it would be the Cool Ranch Doritos. Very good call. The answer, once again, what are you going to do to beat Moorhead?
Just stay focused before the game, keep our energy high, and play with heart like we've been doing the last 3 games.
Are you looking forward to that game?
Yes, sir.
Are you like Jarius and like myself? You can't wait to hear that bell. Last bell is going to ring about noon because you guys got early, but you can't wait for the day to get over to get on that football field.
Yes, sir.
Energy flowing. Favorite TV show? Got one?
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
You like the reruns then? You
Yes,
like the
sir.
old school man there. How about favorite radio show or favorite radio station?
102 Jams.
Sticking on 102 Jams. Jacob, good talking to you.
Thank you.
This will be back on the website. We can listen back to it after today. It'll be taped and playing back later. Plus, the video will be on YouTube tomorrow.